Imagine you're applying for the most powerful military job on Earth. $825 billion, 1.3 million active troops, nuclear codes, global alliances, and someone asks you, how many countries are in ASEAN? You don't know, so you guess. South Korea, Japan, Australia. All wrong. Every single one. And the person asking you? She didn't just study this stuff in a classroom. She lost both legs finding out firsthand what happens when military leadership fails. This is the moment Senator Tammy Duckworth exposed Pete Hegseth in front of the entire country, and why it matters way more than people realize. This was a confirmation hearing, not a debate, not a political show. A confirmation hearing is supposed to be a filter, a controlled test designed to answer one question. Are you actually ready for this job? And Duckworth made that crystal clear from the very first second. She didn't attack. She didn't perform. She set the frame. She said directly, this hearing is about one thing: qualification. Not distractions, not politics, qualification. And once she said that, every answer Hegseth gave was measured against that single word. She started simple. How many nations are in ASEAN? Name one, and describe what kind of agreement America has with them. Basic, foundational, the kind of question you'd expect anyone walking into the Pentagon on day one to already know cold. His answer? South Korea, Japan, Australia. None of those countries are in ASEAN. Not one. And she didn't yell. She didn't celebrate. She just said it plainly. None of those three countries are in ASEAN. I suggest you do a little homework. That line hit different because it wasn't designed to embarrass. It was designed to reveal. Then came the audit question. Simple. Yes or no? Have you ever led an audit of any organization you ran? He circled. He reframed. He talked about fiscal responsibility. She asked again. Yes or no? He circled again. And then, calm, quiet, devastating. I'll take that as a no. 5 words. No shouting, no theatrics, just conclusion. And here's the math she laid out before that moment. The largest organization Hegseth ever ran had a budget of around $16 million. The Department of Defense budget? $825 billion. That's not slightly bigger. That's 51,000 times larger. That's not a step up. That's a different universe entirely. Then she shifted, and this is where it stopped being political and became something deeply human.
She held up a copy of the Soldier's Creed, the same copy that hung above her bed at Walter Reed while she was recovering from losing both legs in combat in Iraq. She read 2 lines out loud. I will always place the mission first. I am disciplined, physically and mentally tough, trained and proficient in my warrior tasks. And then she said what every veteran in America was already thinking. Our troops live these words every single day. They pack their rucksacks. They go to war. They meet the standard under fire, under pressure, with their lives on the line. So why should the standard be lower for the person leading them? She didn't build to a dramatic speech. She just said it. You are not qualified, Mr. Hegseth. No ambiguity, no softening. Just a conclusion earned question by question, failure by failure. And that's what made it land so hard. Because by the time she said it, it didn't feel like an opinion. It felt like math. Now, here's what I want you to actually think about. Because this moment, as uncomfortable as it was, is not new. History has seen this before, multiple times. In 1961, John F. Kennedy inherited a CIA plan called the Bay of Pigs invasion, designed to overthrow Castro in Cuba. It failed catastrophically. Afterwards, Kennedy said the words that defined his presidency. How could I have been so stupid? The answer? He trusted advisors who were confidently wrong, and he didn't ask the hard questions early enough. In 2003, the invasion of Iraq was launched on intelligence that turned out to be false. The people who questioned it were sidelined. The people who were confidently wrong were promoted. The pattern is always the same. When competence stops being a requirement, confidence fills the gap. And confidence without competence at the highest levels of military power doesn't just fail quietly, it fails loudly, with consequences that last decades. So here's my question for you. Is this an isolated moment, one bad nominee caught off guard? Or is this a signal, the same kind of quiet shift that historians look back on and say, that's when the standard changed? Because institutions don't collapse overnight. They erode, slowly, decision by decision, exception by exception, until the exception becomes the expectation. And once that line moves, it almost never moves back. Drop your take in the comments. Do you think this was a political hit job or a genuine exposure of a dangerous gap? Because both sides of that argument exist and both deserve to be heard. If this kind of breakdown is what you're here for, you already know what to do.